I'm extremely excited, and I'm glad that you fit it. You found time to fit us in your busy schedule, man. Just to kill the suspense of some of y'all that's listening that may not know who I'm talking to just as of yet. If you just in case you haven't caught the voice, man, all I got to do is say Family Matters. All I got to do is say Star. All I got to do is say Monogamy. All I got to do is say a couple of those names. You know what I'm saying? We got my boy Daruis in the building. What's good with you? Whoa! I gotta get the clapping machine. I gotta get the clapping machine in here. What's good with you, man?
Hey man, blessed by the best, man, and praying for all the rest, man.
Yo, man, I love it, man. You've been working, dog. I mean, and you literally been working. I mean, I think you done found working. You've been working ever since you done came out the womb, it seemed like, and you ain't stopped.
Yeah, no, I have, man. I've been blessed, man, to work, consistently in this business for the past 30 plus years. It's a wonder, and wonders never cease. But I consider myself humbled and honored to be able to do what it is that I'm passionate about, and that is to entertain and to speak to the extension of man on a higher plane.
Right.
So man, and that's what art is, man. When you look at a painting, you're supposed to say, "Oh my gosh, this could be this." When you listen to a song, you're supposed to say, "Oh my gosh," like I was listening to that song, "Jam on It." Remember, Jam on It, Jam on It.
Yeah.
And all these years that I've listened to that record, for the first time, I knew what that song was when I heard it recently.
Wow, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. That was an expansion
of my mind, man. And if you look back at shows like Family Matters, you'll see that a lot of those storylines that those writers, Jim Gagin and Fred Fox and David Duclan and all those legends, Bill Bickley, Michael Warren, Bob Boyette, all that stuff that those guys were writing about back then, is a lot of it is still current and it's still relevant now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So yeah, man. So I feel blessed, to have worked as many years as I have. I'm looking forward to working, many more years. What I'm really looking forward to is I'm looking forward to breaking a certain pay grade. Because, in Hollywood, man, you have this whole Me Too movement going on, and I stand with my sisters, and I'm hoping that my sisters are standing with their brothers, with us as men, because, a lot of times we get pushed to the side as men. And we're looked at it and people say, "Oh, you're a man, take it like a man, man up, men ain't supposed to cry, right?" But men go through it too, and so I've heard a lot of these sisters talking about they don't get paid like men do and whatnot. But, it's definitely a different game and a different grade when it comes to black and white in Hollywood. You got to be 10 times better. You got to show up 30, 40, 50 minutes to 2 hours, even sometime earlier. You have to bear a lot more. And that's with everything, in the professional world. I'm sure you experience it in your profession as well.
Yeah, I was. I gotta watch what I say. I gotta watch it. Listen,
I ain't trying to get you in no trouble.
Daruis, you trying to open? You know what? You done opened up a can of worms, so we gotta go there. But nah. This is what we do here on the Hands Up Radio Show. This is a gospel-based show, but we talk about everything. We talk about the world. We have other prominent guests on this show, that do more than gospel music. So this is what we talk about. I think our goal in life, our ultimate goal should be to help somebody else, man. Had somebody told us something, we would have been able to handle business a little bit more efficiently. We would have been able to, to watch ourselves a little bit more. So somebody got to talk. Somebody got to talk.
So I just put it out there, man. I don't run from nothing. It is what it is. We come to this place called Earth to live this thing called life,
right? To
work things out, which is why I'm constantly in the gym working out.
Fact.
Because if you don't, you have to learn. You have to know how to work out, and you have to know how to work from within. Wow. And see, that's when you apply the power of God to your life. You're working from within.
Absolutely, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like old folks used to say. Old folks used to say in church, "Jesus on the inside, working on the outside." know what I'm saying? But it's real though.
I love
it's
it,
real, man.
Yo, tell us.
we sit here to work. We sit here to work, man.
You ain't lying, man. Yo, tell us. Yeah. Yo, he's dropping gems right now, and I'm gonna let him go a little bit more. But I gotta ask you this, man. You know, like I said, we know you started out early from Family Matters doing your thing, and was there any shows before Family Matters?
I started before Family Matters, man.
That's what I wanted to know.
A movie that won Oscar called Mississippi Burning.
You know what?
If you guys,
you know what? You was. I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, that's the reason I even got Family Matters was because of Mississippi Burning.
Wow.
You know, and see, back then it was different because they would audition you, but they would audition you and knowing that they were going to give you the role. They didn't just call you in to have you come in and fill up a list like a lot of times that they do today. You know, I did a movie that what brought me into this business was a film called Big Shots. Now, the thing about Big Shots was I was a little kid, 9 years old. I was cussing up a storm, man. It was about two little streetwise kids that was stealing cars, and you know, it was a buddy story. Yeah. It was written by Ivan Reitman. It was written by Joe Esternhaus, produced by Ivan Reitman and the whole crew of the original real Ghostbusters. Now the thing about this is that Chip Fields discovered me, and she took me to read for this movie Big Shots. And they were casting from New York to LA to Chicago. They were casting all around for this role, and so I was blessed to have gotten this role. Now, in addition to that, I indirectly got my start in theater because my father was doing the music for a play called Don't Get God Started. Wow. So Chip Fields saw me there, man. You know, and all my whole life I was really groomed to do music. Everybody was expecting me to
I was going to touch on that in just a moment, but go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was supposed to follow my father's footsteps, which I believe that I have in some way. You know, my dad is such an enormous and ginormous talent. I don't think that anybody could ever be anything but a chip off the old block, you know. Whether I'm talking about myself, my brother Donovan, and my sister Sarah, my brother Tyler, who's the youngest of us, and he's doing some amazing things. I think that all of us, all we can do is be a mere reflection. Because when I listen back to some of those McCrary records, man, that my dad did, the stuff he did with his brothers and sisters, it's just phenomenal. It's ahead of its time. It's out of this world, man. The chord progressions and changes and stuff that they were doing back then that have influenced music to this day. You know, that my family doesn't even get a lot of credit for, you know, but it's okay because we don't do it for credit. We do it for currency.
Right. Totally understand.
As long as you've been moved, then I've done my job.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the next thing I want to talk about, man. Daruis, you've been blessed and you've been fortunate to work with some, pioneers. Dog, I put you right up there with the Will Smiths of the world, with the Martin Lawrences of the world. I mean, not that you're comic or whatever, but I put you right up there as far as legendary
appreciate
status,
it.
Iconic
much appreciated,
you know what
man.
I'm saying?
Much appreciated.
And I do feel that you could have played in the Independence Day. You know, you could have did all of that stuff because you talented, dog. You talented. So that's what we want to talk about. Yeah, that's what I want to get to. You know, do you feel it was a thing of certain, you know, because you've been blessed anyway, and I know them checks is all right, but you know, at the same time, do you feel like maybe you know those guys wouldn't let you in for a certain reason at a certain time or particular?
Well, you know, man, sometimes you know in Hollywood, you know, they like to make what I've come to know as a safe bet, you know, and sometimes some people are just a safe bet. And some people are not. You know, a lot of times in Hollywood as well, they never really let us know, especially in the African-American market, just what our international value is. Right. We really don't know. And a lot of times people think that you have to make it in Hollywood, so to speak, to really make it. But we have to remember that we are blessed to live in an age now where the World Wide Web has opened things up. And, you know, I have been blessed, I can say, to have gone into millions of homes, I know, throughout the years. I mean, back in the day, we had a captive audience, man, where people had to watch a show or watch something, you know, because there wasn't a bunch of other noise around. You know, you had four networks, you had movie theaters, and people would go to see these movies. They were epic events. I mean, you couldn't even really program a VCR, you know, and be certain that you wouldn't, that you might not miss your program.
Right.
So, man, I feel blessed, and I know what the worth is, and I just have to continue proving myself and being diligent and faithful if it's something that I want to do, because no one is giving you anything in this town, in this business of show. You have to be proactive. You have to be productive. And like I said, we have to show up. Sometimes I might like to show up 2 hours early just to say that I did, so that I can be there to talk to, the craft service people. I can be there to talk to the security guards. I can get to know everybody that is affiliated with the production. I can know the complete lay of the land, because a lot of times what a lot of celebrities are guilty of it. I'm not calling any names. Right. I don't kiss and tell. Not too often anyway. But
I got you.
But a lot of times, a lot of celebrities, we get to a place where we think it's all about us. Wow. And it's not. You're a major cog in that engine, a major component, in the device. However, it takes a village to create a production. Wow. Now what they've done today is they've scaled it down with your reality shows, and now equipment is a lot smaller, and people are making movies on iPhones, and people doing all types of different
stuff. And people
are
becoming famous that don't have no business becoming famous. But anyway, but go ahead.
I think I'm gonna post that. I'm gonna post that on my Instagram and shout you out. Yeah, man. I mean,
it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Where's the talent? Where's the talent? These dudes don't got no talent. They're becoming popular off of just turning up and being idiots almost. That's what I feel.
Yes. I think the more talent you have, the harder you have to work.
Wow.
These days.
Wow.
So these days, I think the way that it is that the more talent you have, because it's almost like you're almost like you're too much. People are threatened by it. It's like they don't want to think that much,
Facts.
People, a storyline, and a song. It's easy to just say, I want my roller, I want my roller, I got my roller, I got my roller. And people are cool with that. People don't want to hear, looking in your eyes. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it.
Nope.
The chord progressions, because it requires too much thought. And I think in addition to that, it's not the listener or the viewer's fault. We have so much that we deal with, so much more that we deal with now. Life was simple. You have to imagine this thing was like a village, islanders, Pacific Islanders or something. It was simple back in the day. We had simple life. You go to school, your mama didn't work, your daddy worked, your mama stayed home. It was simpler. Now, these kids are coming up and we're so desensitized. We're seeing stuff on phones and I remember where I was when a friend of mine, a mutual friend of mine and Aaliyah's called me to tell me she had passed away. I remember exactly where I was.
Wow.
Nowadays you don't remember where you are because you have access to so much information it's like, how do you hold the attention span, to even focus that much on something that people feel may not even be important to them, because what's important to people now is securing the bag, right?
They make songs about it. That's all it is about the bag. What
do I care about your song or your beautiful voice, man? I'm trying to secure the bag and bag me a bad chick. You know what I'm saying? That's got cake.
Right. Yo, it's true though. Right? Once again, man, we got my dude Daruis Mccrary on the line, man. Actor extraordinaire, singer extraordinaire. For those of you that's just tuning in, if you have any questions on Facebook Live chat, you could just jot it down. If we have time, we'll get to it. But I know you're busy, man. But I definitely, we've been having a great dialogue thus far. But I wanted to talk about something that you touched on already. I love it because you're making it even more easier for me. Sometimes I get these artists on, sometimes I get these actors on. I gotta, sometimes we gotta pull it out of them. But I love when we get guests like you that don't mind laying it all out and don't care about being safe, man. Because your legacy is already stamped. It's like LeBron James. You said something so pivotal, so paramount when you said you got to show up 30 minutes earlier. One thing that LeBron James' teammates had to say about him this year, they was like, one thing you can't talk about is this dude dedication and his man work ethics. This dude is the greatest player in the world still, to this day, and yet he shows up.
I would agree.
And yet he shows up to practice hours sometimes. 2 hours before everybody else get there. And like, yo, if you come 15 minutes early, you late. And if you come, don't come a few minutes after practice, oh man, you don't want to hear his mouth.
If a leader's on time, he's late.
Wow. That's so official. So when you said that, I was like, yo, all of the greats, this is why you guys are in the position y'all in, because of the mindset. You know, you gotta think above, you know, where you at and see where you're going. And one thing Will Smith said that was so paramount to me as well, that kind of helped me piece things together. Because see, I pay attention to all you guys. I pay attention to successful people, period. And one thing he said was, he said, you may be more talented than me, but you would never outwork me. I said,
well,
wow.
You know, well, that's the thing, though. That's the thing, and that's why I said I think the more talented you are, the harder you have to work. So you have to understand that back in the day, people made exceptions for talent.
Right.
I mean, it was a certain thing. It was a community, man. You wasn't getting up in the cliques with Shirley Caesar. And man, I'm gonna tell you something. I remember my father, Howard McCrary, the legendary McCrary, man. One time it was at the Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. Okay, this is not a small Coliseum. Okay, Now there was Shirley Caesar on the bill, Andre Crouch, the Hawkins family. Wow. So it was Tremaine, Walter, Edwin. That's Uncle Coco. I grew up with these. That's Uncle Andre. You know, my father discovered the Winans. He discovered BB and CC. You know, my father. Yeah, he's worked with Michael Jackson. He's worked. I mean, the man's amazing. But I'll never forget, man, when my daddy showed up, how much respect these other musicians would give him, to where they were the ones rehearsing and they played. But when Howard showed up, it was like, oh, Howard's here tonight. Oh, he come on, Howard, you sitting in, man. Here, man, take my seat. It was a camaraderie.
Wow.
It was like a privilege. I wasn't threatened. Right. I wasn't threatened, especially if a great showed up, somebody who opened a door for me or taught me. I'm gonna pay homage. I'm gonna share my life. Now we're in a place where we feel threatened. Right. We feel like something's gonna be taken from us. And once again, it's not our fault. It's all due to programming. You know, I understand what it is. You know, once you understand what it is, you can deal with it. You can find a cheat code. You know, but you know, to add in addition to what you were saying, you know, it's like, you know, talent. It was a clique, man. It was like people respected your Marvin Gaye. It was that's an eclectic thinker, man. What's on Marvin's mind? It was so deep that he could write a song to tell you what's going on, because you cared about what was on that man's mind. Now, man, we don't have time. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to deal with it. We want the flavor of the month. We like the microwave. You know, ain't nobody in the kitchen really mashing no real potatoes. You buy country crock mash, but pre-mashed now.
That's true.
You buy them onions diced and bell peppers already sliced now. Ain't nobody cutting up and making no trinity like Mama did with the parsley, celery, and onions. Ain't nobody doing that no more. Wow. Come on. You know, so we're in an era now where if you have a talent, and talent is something that comes directly from the divine, and one of your most godlike moments. One of your most godlike moments, I don't care what religion you are, I don't care what creed you believe, one of your most godlike moments as a human being that you will find in your existence are those moments when you are being creative. Because if you look all around, you'll see that the greatest creator is the creator that we worship and we pray to. Right. The creator that we acknowledge, our creator.
Amen.
That's that higher power. So you have to tap into that. So as we tap into that greatness, you know, there has to be some sort of level of respect that will come back around eventually. And I believe that it is a direct assignment, you know, of some other energy to dumb down so that we are not as vigilant about praise. We are not as vigilant about being godlike. You know, I mean, back in the day, you know, you could stop and pick up a hitchhiker if somebody was hitchhiking. Now we so cold with it. People look at you if you having your thumb out, you might mess around and get your hand took off.
That's true, dog. He ain't lying.
You're not even gonna stop and help somebody. You're not even stop. Nope. I've been in gas stations and I've seen pregnant women pumping gas, and I'm gonna stop. I get out and I'll pump the gas for a pregnant woman, and I say, you get in the car. Get in the car. You know, you got a baby. The baby don't need to be exposed to these fumes.
That's awesome.
You know, but we're not thinking like that, anymore these days, because everybody's so my, i.e. selfie.
Well, that's the society we in, man, and like, well, I am a part of the millennials. I'm getting ready to be 33, but I was fortunate to have a role model. My brother, who's the greatest singer on earth. I got to give him a shout out, Charles Perry, Charles Perry, man. Right. But he 5 years older than me, so I always lived 5 years older than me. That's what I felt.
Right,
and like,
right.
And you talk,
and that's how we were raised. Right. That's how we were raised, though. We were raised with our parents. I used to go to rehearsals with my father, so I grew up with studio etiquette. Right. I knew when you walked into a studio, a recording studio, you don't walk in talking all loud and touching stuff, and you don't. It's the etiquette. We treated studios as if it was the delivery room for children.
Mm-hmm. It's true, though. You ain't
now
lying.
You walk into a studio, you got blunts all around and bottles and ashes and because
they claim that's how they get that's how those rappers and singers, that's how they get their inspiration. I'm not even going to touch on that, but anyway, going on.
Hey, get it how you live it. Live it how you get it.
Oh God, they say R. Kelly, just have all kinds of inspiration around him. I've been told. But
God
anyway,
bless him, man. But God bless him, man. The man's a genius.
And he is a genius, and we're praying for him right now. Lord Jesus, help him. Yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, like you were saying, you was blessed to grow up. I grew up in a home of legends, as well. My grandfather was a famous doo-wop singer of the Jive 5. He's in the doo-wop Hall of Fame. My brother is a pioneer in this industry, Charles Perry. I gotta connect y'all. We gotta connect y'all. We gotta, right now he's vocal coaches to the stars, man. He was working with Tammy Rivera, Waka Flocka's wife, and now he's doing some work with Kim Burrell for Snoop Dogg's new play that he's putting on soon. So I've been privy and blessed, and we've been fortunate to be, kind of get some leeway into this, to be shown how to be professional and all that stuff. And not every day your local childhood star like yourself grows up to still be prominent in this industry today, man. It seems like, why do you think that is, man? That most childhood stars don't grow up to, that's where it is. You remember them. I'm not even gonna go through the names, but you remember them for what they were. And it's like today, it's like you catch them at the Starbucks, the local Starbucks, and they just chilling, and and nobody knows.
Well, I mean, man, I think it's all about your foundation. It's about your team. It's about your family. It's about your intent. I think that there are many who are called, and few are chosen. Mm-hmm. I never looked for this, man. I never asked for this. So when I start to get, weary, I start to get tired, I just talk to my creator. I reach within and I say, hey, I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask to do this. This is not my industry. Film and television, music, it wasn't created by black folks.
It sure wasn't.
This is an industry that is still owned and primarily operated at the higher levels by our wonderful Jewish brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And our amazing Italian brothers and sisters as well. On the other side of music, that's how this thing is ran. We rarely have little to no ownership of much of anything as far as distribution is concerned in this business. Which is why when it really is. We got to do something about it. We really got to do something about it. I don't know what it is that we will do about it.
But they've been trying to do something about it for years. Why haven't we done it yet? With all of the powers that be. I mean, which is why I do admire people like the Jay-Z's of the world, Puff Daddies of the world. I did hear that they working on something. Jay-Z already did Tidal, you know what I'm saying? He owns all the rights to that.
And big props to Jay-Z.
Big props.
And those guys who have done, some amazing things through hip hop, and taking things to a whole nother level. Big props to Diddy, OG1 and them cats over there at Tidal and Rock Nation. Yeah. They're doing some amazing things. We're in the process. It's a slow process. Once again, this is not our business, not our industry, not our country, even though we built it, even though we built this entertainment industry.
What do you feel about your president?
Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
Well, since you brought it up,
I'm actually a fan of anybody who makes it their business to one up or trump you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually a fan of anybody who makes it their business to one up or trump every move that you could even think about making. And so we have to understand we have the right person in the office right now for the times that we live in. So like I said, this is a whole another conversation.
No, you said wait. You saying we got the right person in the office?
For the times that we're in right now, and for the agenda that has been already written out, that has nothing to do with us, how we feel, our existence, our lineage. It has nothing to do with us. Nothing. The people who really run this, what's going on behind this steel curtain, they could care less. Michael Jackson wrote a song called "They Don't Really Care About Us."
True.
Michael said it.
I agree.
Michael said it, and we didn't hear him when he said it. So you have to see what happened was we had Obama in office for 8 years. And what that did was it lulled everybody into a place of comfortability and tranquility to a degree. But nobody grinding or really going at it when Obama was in office. We was happy. And we should overcome.
Right.
We were happy. And so now we have what is called an agitator in the head home of this country. And see, if you put clothes into a washing machine and you just put the soap in there and the clothes in the washing machine, clothes won't get clean. What actually cleans your clothes is that device called the agitator in the middle of the wash.
This is
that thing that turns is an agitator. And so right now we're seeing how people truly feel about us, about our presence in this country, about our contributions. We're finding out. The light is turned on. The light is on now. So we're seeing, and even to go deeper, all of this stuff that's happening now with people using the N-word and speaking out to us at hotels and doing different stuff, and even these police officers killing these young men. None of this is new. The only thing that's new are the devices that we carry called cell phones.
That's true.
So once again, I'm going to say, for the climate and the times that we are surviving in, we have the right man in office.
Okay, I'm going to have to disagree on that one, but I get, there you go. I get where you're coming from, but he's definitely not the first racist president we've had in office, I feel, and he's definitely.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding, man?
He won't be the last one.
It took them 45 days to write the Constitution. They went into a room, man, with their powder wigs. They wrote the Constitution, and wasn't none of us in there. But Thomas Jefferson was in there. I think Thomas,
You true?
And Andrew Jackson was in there. He, we've had some lineage, and some great history that people don't talk about. Right. But what I'm saying is basically what I'm saying is that right now we have to do better, and this is going to make us do something at this point.
I agree. I'm a firm believer that this is one of the best times to go out and get yours. I will say that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So I agree with that. I agree with that part, but I just feel my feelings towards it is something different. Growing up, you inspired to be just about anything in the world, but you never really, you thought your mother told you could be the president. You may have thought about it, but you just knew you wasn't squeaky clean. So to me, it's like I felt like the presidency was always held up at such a high regard to now. To this point now,
don't get me talking about that. But don't even get me talking about that. No, because you can't. But you can't say that though. You can't say that though, bro. Because man, come on, man. Monica Lewinsky besmirched the presidency when she did what she did.
I know
it never happened. And John F. Kennedy wasn't having it. It wasn't going down. You know what I'm saying? So we can't even speak on it. See where we are now. I'm gonna tell all y'all this and all y'all listeners this. If you smart, you're gonna listen to what I just said. Mm-hmm. I'm a fan of anyone who makes it their business to one-up you. 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 To and trump you. Take a page out of his book, and let's let people understand that we're intelligent enough to assimilate.
I'm with you. We got it, man. Daruis Mccrary on the line with us right now, just dropping gems and spitting knowledge, man. This music thing. So you getting back? I mean, so I'm guessing the music was more of your passion than the acting, but you just do both so well.
Up, man. My aunt Linda McCrary, Howard is my father. Charity, Alfred, Sam, the McCrary. They used to open for the Jacksons. They work with Andre Crouch, like I said. My aunt Linda, she's a living legend. So music is in my blood, man.
So you gonna do more music?
Yeah, I got some stuff. I've been working on with El DeBarge, with my brother Donovan, my cousin Chuck Heat. G1, Sugarfoot Moffitt, Wawa Watson, like all the legends, Karen Briggs, So, shout out to Bishop Cortez Vaughn and Uncle Fred Hammond, and VZ Washington, you know what I'm saying, and the whole family, I've been blessed to be around some greatness like yourself and like we were saying. So this music is it's my therapy, man. And, artists is never really appreciated or looked at for their complete worth until they graduate past this human state. So, man, if it becomes popular after I leave or, if I hit it while it's here, and I've done it, and I'm going to be true to it, because it gives me life. And so hopefully you'll be able to feel what it does for me when you listen to it.
Man, I'm so proud and happy for you, man, because as I was saying, you're still very, very, very much so relevant in this industry. I don't care what anybody say or what you have ever been made to feel, but you are confident, man, and always be confident and know that you are the man, dog. I mean,
thank you, family. Thank you, man.
You the man, and don't let nobody take that from you, man.
I really appreciate that, man. I'm just a mere reflection of my surroundings, man. I'm here to represent us, man, and all people of all races, colors, and creeds, man, because we got to understand something, man. Yes, it's a black, white thing. It's an Asian thing. All of that. It's a Latino thing. But the bottom line is this country was built to be a melting pot. You were supposed to be able to come here from everywhere else, and they didn't want to do what was done to them. So that's why they left, but it's become something completely different. So, when I hear stuff like "Make America Great Again," yeah, let's make it what it was originally intended to be.
Right? How about that?
If we band together and stand together, there's nothing that can separate us. Absolutely. Nothing. And so all I want to do is just shine the light, man, for all my Native American brothers and sisters. All of my Latino brothers and sisters. I'm a humanist.
Right.
And so that's all that I'm trying to do, man, is just represent humanity.
Man, I love it, man, and this is real talk. Like I said, you don't get no straighter than this, man. I hope you guys are really appreciating this. This is once in a lifetime opportunity, once in a lifetime interviews here. You don't have an artist of this stature really giving you keys. I mean, giving you codes, as Kanye say, giving you codes and stuff. Kanye on some different level. He said Jay-Z gave out a few codes, and he said, people that are the doorkeepers was like, he's giving away codes. Man, before we let you go, let's speak to that a little real quick. Do there are some doorkeepers and things like that. Let's talk a little bit about that if you can, and expound on that.
We can talk about the doorkeepers, and at every level there's a new devil.
You better believe it. Better believe it. The Bible talks to us about that.
Yeah, so you better don't be surprised. Expect it.
Fact.
And right before you about to hit daybreak, you better understand that it's going to be some rocks crumbling in that cave. So you got to be able to move through all of that stuff. You might run into some bats while you're running up out the cave in the daybreak. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand what it is, man. This is a very dark and trying time that we're in. And, I have a lot of respect for a lot of the faith-based films and a lot of the faith-based music and a lot of the stuff that's being done now, because it is the lighter side of things, because this is a very dark industry. It really is. You look at the whole Me Too movement. I honestly look at it and I say, well, this is the business of show. We're expected to be beautiful. So, we've all encountered being put in uncomfortable positions if you're in this business and you're any person that's desirable, so you just have to understand it, know what it is, register, and, govern yourself accordingly, and those gatekeepers and at every level, and new devils, they're going to be there. There's nothing you can do about that, that's part of the reason why I choose to befriend gatekeepers and even my demons. It makes them a lot easier to put them on a leash.
well, a wise man once said, if you want to be a millionaire, you got to rub elbows with the millionaires. You can't expect to fly high when you soaring with chickens. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. It's not going.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is.
So anything that you would tell an inspiring actor, singer, what would be that thing? What Let's put it this way: what would the younger Daruis told you in the mirror back in the day?
Man, you don't want to.
I'm talking about. I phrased that wrong. I phrased that wrong. What would the now seasoned Daruis tell the younger Daruis?
I tell younger Daruis? I would tell younger Daruis. But this crazy because I did this. Really, this is what I did. I actually studied. I studied not just the artist, but I studied the creators. I studied the directors. I studied the writers. I watched The Clockwork Orange, and I would study Stanley Kubrick's directing style, and I would look at 2010, and I would look at Eyes Wide Shut, and I would study, and I would want to know how did he procure the finances to produce the movie. I look at now, with studio films or what are considered studio films versus studio films back then, and the progression of the industry, and you have to constantly be amenable to adapting. If you don't want to change, you don't want to adapt, then this is not the business for you. When it comes to music, you can't study Marvin Gaye without studying Berry Gordy.
Facts.
You have to look at the fact that there are very few Motown artists to ever win a Grammy while they were on Motown.
Very true.
You have to study that stuff.
Very true.
I'm talking about Marvin Gaye never won a Grammy while he was signed to Motown Records. I don't think Smokey did either. Stevie may be the only one. Stevie.
He's talking some stuff, y'all. I hope you're picking this up. He's talking some real
really
stuff.
So you got to study, and also the other thing is study. How do you get from beginning to end? Because it's not enough to just be a pretty face anymore. It's not enough to be a one-trick pony anymore. It doesn't matter. People don't care.
It's true, dog. It's true, dog.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. So, that's what I would tell the younger Daruis now, and I tell all y'all, and if you get a chance, y'all check out the new show, Craig Ross Jr.'s Monogamy on UMC.tv.
Yeah.
The new series, that's up and running and starring Wesley Jonathan and Karen Ward Ross and Jim Marie Jones and Vanessa J. Simmons and Blue Kimmel and Brian White and myself. So y'all check that out, and y'all make sure y'all keep up with me. I'm at Daruis Mccrary, McCrary on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram, all of that jazz.
Man, I love it, man. You heard it here on the Hands Up Radio Show, man. We are proud of you, man. Keep doing your thing, and thank you so much for just dropping gems and knowledge on us all tonight. I trust me, I had my notepad and my pen out and just jotting down things.
My man, I so appreciate your spirit. I appreciate your heart, man. Doubt. And I'm really sorry, man. I was going to try to get Eddie Winslow on the phone, man, but he's gone Hollywood on me because he doesn't want to be a part of anything to do with a Family Matters reboot. So he ain't answering the phone for me right now. But
before you go, I saw a clip. Is the reboot happening? Is the reboot now? Everybody, you know what? Y'all better make it happen.
I'm telling you, I don't know, man. Eddie ain't answering the phone for me. He don't want to have no parts of that.
He better answer it.
Eddie ain't, he ain't playing team ball right now. If I catch him in these streets, he got a problem. That's my homeboy, but
Yo, I want that reboot to happen, man. I don't want y'all to sit around here and do what Martin did and wait till somebody go And then y'all talk about a rebound. It ain't gonna be the same without Tommy,
like I said, man. Like I said, it's two different worlds, man, that we live in black and white when you're reading it, you know, on the pages.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, we bind that devil and we pray that everything be released in the name of Jesus, because we need to see a reboot of Family Matters, man. Because I was just telling somebody earlier today. I was telling them, I said, yo, I got, you know, the man coming on, and we was talking about Family Matters, and I was like, dang, man, you know what's crazy? I said, no more shows like that. I said, I remember TGI Fridays, and I used to look forward.
There won't be, man. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. The vibration is shifted, man, and they want us in a place of chaos and confusion and you know, buffoon and you know, and that's what we are. That's what's happening right now. So, you know, we just have to pay attention to that. It's you know, true. With our children tattooing their faces, and you know, this is where we are right now. You know, but hey, disco didn't last forever. You know,
it ain't.
So
you ain't lying, and you ain't lying. And you, speaking of tattoo on the face, man, what do you feel about you know, that young man XXX that just was
oh, you know, man, I wish him the best, man. I wish him the best. You know, he received his scholarship to the university, you know, of Beyond. So whatever happened, you know, I wish his family peace and love and all the comfort that God can bring them, and the ministering angels can administer right now. You know, I think it is sad, and we got to do better. We have to do better. However, with this industry, you never know what has taken place with a public figure. So pray for his family. And that's all I could tell you. When people pass away in this industry, when things happen, this world, there's so much more to this world than what our eyes can see. And you have to understand that if we can put holograms on stages and rebuild the White House and do all types of stuff and create stories for scandal and how to get away with murder, there's a lot of other things that can be done as far as the human existence is concerned. So we don't know, and we can't speak on it, you know. So I wish his family, you know, a speedy healing process, and it'll never be the same. But you know, just pray for them, and you know, and continue to pray for each other. You know, pray for our president, pray for the country. Just pray, you know, and stay in tune. So.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Once again, we got the Daruis Mccrary on the line, man, and once again, he's just dropped gems after gems after gems. He could have been somewhere, you know, learning a new role for a new sitcom or movie or something, but yet he took a little time out, man. And I usually, I don't care who they are, I usually don't let them go this long, but I do allow them to go if they're talking some knowledge, man. You've been kicking real knowledge, and I gotta have you back, especially when you start doing the music, man, which I can't wait for.
Put it together, man. It'll be my pleasure, man. It'll be my pleasure, man. I'm looking forward to it, family.
Absolutely, man. And whenever you in New York, man, you know, we got to talk about that. We got to put something on. We got to do something, man. We got to make it big, man. I'm gonna talk